Hi, this here, viewers of Equinoxe Television, 6 p.m. by 2 o'clock. Thank you so much, as usual, for joining us on this edition of the news. We begin right away with our major stories. Christians the world over are preparing seriously to celebrate the feast of Christmas. That would be on December 25. Christmas is a season for sharing, love, and also forgiveness. In this edition of the news, religious leaders will be telling us more about the importance and also the significance of the feast of Christmas. Also, in this newscast, we'll be coming back to the Amadou Varmuke affair, telling you more about human rights violations in that court case. Stay with us for details and more. Welcome back, viewers. We begin this newscast talking about Christmas. The Christmas bells continue to ring across Cameroon and in the city of Douala. Christmas will be celebrated on December 25. Religious leaders say it is a period or a season for sharing love, reconciliation, and forgiveness. Our reporter Lucy Liengu Essien spoke with some religious leaders of some denominations here in the city of Douala. She now tells us more.
Christians all over the world are preparing to celebrate the feast of Christmas, the birth of Christ, after observing the season of Advent. As the feast of Nativity is celebrated by Christians, they are obliged to understand the importance of the birth of the Savior, the Redeemer of mankind. Pastor Jean Fonquen of the Evangelic Church of Cameroon says Christmas is a feast of light.
Christmas is a Christian, and we celebrate it like as a meeting between God and human beings. God comes to us to let us be like Him, to give us His divinity, and to enable us to be more human and better than what we are yesterday.
He adds that Christmas is that period of the year when we should and must show love to one another.
And to enlighten us in what is the real will of the God. And the will of God, of our God, is the love. We have to love each other and make sure that our life or the whole world is built on this living together, on the love that is the real power that can make each other feel well.
It is not a period to show off, exercise, in eating, drinking, or getting involved in other worldly activities.
What are the questions that we need to take this day? We know some people take this day to drink and get drunk. Some people take this day, to do terrible things, and sometimes spend extravagantly because they feel that this is the only day they can spend their money. And the question we are giving the people, that everybody, is that we should not celebrate this day as like pagan. We should celebrate like Christian. People also believe that God is a holy God. God is a great.
Religious leaders are calling on Christians to celebrate this period with love and respect for God.
And now there is no Christmas without Christmas trees, especially when it comes to children. Our reporters made a stop over at some market in Douala where Christmas trees are being sold. She now tells us more about the color, sizes of Christmas trees and also their prices.
It is a season of nativity, and Christmas trees of all categories and colors can be seen in most markets visited in the city of Douala. At Douche, where Christmas gadgets are sold, sellers say Christmas trees varies according to the length and sizes.
For this year, everything is cost than last year, because last year this tree, we bought it last year like 6.5, but this year we have bought it around 6, 8, 6 or 7 to sell it 8 or 7.5.
1 meter 50. The price is 10,000. 1 meter 80, the price is 15,000. 2 meter 10, the price is 25,000. 2 meter 40, the price is 35,000. And it depends on the quality of the tree.
Some customers prefer the white Christmas tree but have limited resources.
Concern white tree for Christmas, everybody like white tree, but just that it's too cost than the others. But concern white tree, the smallest one to take money for we as seller, we take it like 10,000. But last year around 8 or 8.5.
According to some buyers, the Christmas tree to them symbolizes the birth and resurrection of Jesus Christ. The tree branches and shrubs are viewed as an emblem of immortality and are said to symbolize the crown of thorns worn by Christ on the cross. This lady says celebrating Christmas without a Christmas tree is meaningless.
On sait que le 25 c'est la naissance du Christ.
Non, les enfants.
Why to this woman, her reason for buying is to please her kids who demand a Christmas tree every year.
Les décors et tout.
To some, decorating the tree gives the whole family a wonderful moment, and every year they come together to adorn the tree with various ornaments and make wishes for a healthy and joyful life.
And people in the city of Douala continue complaining about the hike in the prices of basic commodities, especially foodstuff. They say it is going to definitely affect their end-of-year festivities. Let's now have more with Mara Glory. We will be coming back to Malak Doris' report in our subsequent editions of the news. And now we come back to the Amadou Vamuki affair. He was condemned, that was about 2 days ago, to 12 years imprisonment during a court case in Yaoundé, which had been adjourned several times. Let's now have the details of that court case with Smart Njikan Gabriel.
It was at about 10 minutes past 2 a.m. that the vehicle transporting former CRTV General Manager Amadou Vamulke and former Minister of Finance Polycarp Ababa arrived at the gate of the Kondengi Maximum Prison in Yaoundé. The two were returning from a court session that lasted for 12 hours. The 12 hours that was used to review the crimes these two former heads of different institutions were accused of committing. It was at about 10 minutes to 2 a.m. Wednesday that the verdict was made public. The former CRTV General Manager Amadou Vamulke was accused of embezzling public funds worth 47 million francs CFA aimed at paying annual leave and transportation of personnel of CRTV. Amadou Vamulke was also declared guilty of embezzling public funds worth 590 million francs CFA alongside the former Minister of Finance Polycarp Ababa. The money was deposited as administrative funds into the National Social Insurance Fund's account under the order of CMPS officials. For the two charges he was accused, Amadou Vamulke was handed a 12-year prison sentence, while Polycarp Ababa was given 17-year prison sentence. These decisions taken by the Special Criminal Court is unjust, according to the accused. A question that I don't have any reply for is how a modest citizen like me is frightening many people. Why are they giving the impression that they can't sleep anymore until they get rid of me? You should be reassured, I don't have any hate or sentiment of revenge. I have looked at your faces and I'm telling myself, do they even believe what they are reading? Do you believe yourself with all of your conscience? Are you satisfied? Your own children will come and judge you when they read about this decision. At the other end, the judges for the two former statesmen were also disappointed. In a case where it's very clear that the funds which is purported to have been embezzled was used by the taxation department under the instructions of the director at the time, and now they are saying he is guilty of embezzling the same funds. It's a shame. Notwithstanding all of our efforts and accusations which were not evident, the tribunal has still seen things to condemn him, but we are satisfied because for Mr. Vamulke, everything was put into play for his freedom, but no way. Apart from the prison sentence given to the two former statesmen, Amadou Vamulke and Polycarp Abba were fined 570 million francs CFA for damages and 32 million francs CFA for expenses during their trials.
And a committee to protect journalists says Cameroon is the third worst jailer in the world in Africa after Egypt and Eritrea. The CPJ's declaration is contained in its reaction following the conviction of journalist Amadou Vamulke. The group is calling for the release of the former manager of the national broadcaster, the CRTV. Let's now have more with me, Armstrong Sander.
Reacting to the jail term slammed on former CRTV managing director, the Committee to Protect Journalists condemned the sentence. According to the CPJ's Angela Quinter, the Tuesday's late-night conviction and sentencing of Amadou Vamulke on retaliatory charges of embezzlement is a monumental travesty of justice and could be tantamount to a death sentence. The CPJ says Vamulke has already spent more than 6 years in arbitrary detention and prosecutors must agree not to contest his appeal. Given his age, failing health and the overcrowded, unhygienic conditions at the Kondenge Central Prison in Yaoundé, the CPJ demands that Vamulke be immediately allowed to go home on bail. The committee cited his lawyer, Barrister Alice Com, who says Vamulke's arrest was a reprisal for his management of the CRTV. She highlights that the official reasons for his arrest is a pretext. Vamulke was arrested on July 29, 2016 and is the longest serving of 5 journalists currently imprisoned in Cameroon. This is according to the CPJ's annual prison census of jailed journalists. The Committee to Protect Journalists says Cameroon is the third worst jailer of journalists in Africa after Egypt and Eritrea. For me, Armstrong Sander, Equinoxe Radio.
And now we take you to the northwest region where the local population of Wum is in the Menchum division of the northwest region are complaining that since the Anglophone crisis escalated into an armed conflict, they have been living without electricity, that is in total darkness. For about 5 years now, they have been making use of hurricane lamps to light up their houses and also their shops. Let's now have the situation in Wum with our reporter Innocent Aze.
We only see light. Now when back the pass or Mawe gate generator.
Just like any other locality in Anglophone Cameroon being strangulated by the 6-year-old armed conflict, Wum, chief town of the Menchum division of the northwest region, is in darkness since 2016 when the Anglophone crisis started.
More than 5 years we don't have light. We have been suffering. I want just cry, we'll get them for Wum. We suffer. We don't get light for 4 to 5 years today since crisis we start.
We are living a pathetic situation. We do not have a way forward. Suffering has become a communal name.
Now kind of this for the user. Yes, so we don't get the way forward.
In the Wum Central Market, traders illuminate their shops with candle lights.
Wum market this. Store them, not even one light.
Just like the old days, those who cannot afford a generator or solar panel resort to bush lamps or candles.
We don't know where they call and say light for Wum.
For years now, life has disappeared from Wum. Our problems are just too much as we cannot conserve perishable goods anymore in refrigerators.
We don't fit chop fish, we don't fit chop chicken because they go rotten.
I am a teacher. Yet, I am unable to prepare lessons for children. Pupils and students cannot study. How can Android children be using bush lamps used in the 90s today?
They're not being motivated for it because people go light lamp. Where people they don't use them for 1980 something, can't begin use them now. And it's in an Android world.
Only those with generators and solar panels usually have lights in their homes. Fueling the generator, it says, is costly. Fallen and falling electric poles. Hanging high tension and creeping electric cables are now the celebrities in the town of Womb.
See the two they use and support high tension. See, a guava stick.
Some of the high tension cables close to the earth are supported with sticks or hung on trees.
If all remain for the countdown.
Electric cables abandoned in gutters and on the ground are covered by white vegetation. Suspending poles could be seen waving and waiting for Mr. Nobody to have them fixed.
High tension this so for ground.
Signs which according to the population entails no one cares and the solutions far-fetched. Pleas for end of the armed conflict believed to have scared the workers of the electricity production and distribution company have been advanced.
The government, what for which corner, may they assist we for whom go over so far.
Please, would the beg may they look what we will not say problem there. May they try help way for this side. More get light.
Same pleas are directed to Yaoundé by the population of most localities in the two English-speaking regions, also plunged in darkness for years.
We come back to this report which says the local population of the Douala 2 municipality are complaining of the increase in the prices of basic commodities, especially foodstuff. They say hard times will surely affect their end-of-year festivities. Let's now have that in this report.
Different varieties of food items spread on the market, but only few buyers are available. The inhabitants of Douala 2 subdivision complain that the prices of basic commodities have witnessed an increase lately, leading to high cost of living. Things are expensive these days on the market. Plantains, cocoyams, tomatoes, potatoes, everything is expensive. We find it difficult to feed. We don't know what to do. We have children to send to school, rent to pay. In fact, the government needs to see into our situation. Among these food items is beef, which according to the population is more costly and scarce on the market. We are just from the butcher. A kilogram of meat is 4,000 francs, and it's even scarce. It is when you ask with much precision that all the parts are shown to you. In order to manage the situation, some people think it's better to spend little during this festive season and save for rainy days.
And now in sports, the president of the Confederation of African Football, CAF, says it is very possible for an African team to win the World Cup. Dr. Philippe Monsepe was speaking after reviewing the different performances of the African teams which took part in the just ended World Cup in Qatar. Let's now have more with Sumaji and Gabriel.
It was a happy and confident CAF president that faced media practitioners as he reviews the activities of the Confederation of African Football for the year 2022. Dr. Patrice Motsepe began his press briefing by congratulating the 5 African teams that took part at the FIFA World Cup in Qatar, amongst them Cameroon, Ghana, Tunisia, Senegal and Morocco for their impressive performance. CAF's president was particularly delighted by the historic victories of the Atlas Lions of Morocco as they picked up a maiden semi-finals ticket at the FIFA World Cup.
The performance of all of our 5 national teams that were representing Africa at the FIFA World Cup, Qatar, and in particular, the historic achievements of Morocco that has made all of us exceptionally proud. They've made all of us in Africa uniquely proud.
In the course of the press conference, CAF President Dr. Patrice Motsepe also talked about finance.
We shouldn't underestimate the importance of finance, of the salaries that players earn, that coaches earn in other parts of the world.
CAF President says with the exploit of Morocco at the just ended FIFA World Cup, he is sure that African teams will do better in the next World Cup.
I'm confident that at the next World Cup, our aim is to, with Morocco has made all of us proud and all of the other 4 made us proud, is to go further. And the main objective is indeed an African nation will indeed win the World Cup. We have to believe.
It was an opportunity for the president of CAF to indicate that they are making significant progress in ensuring that African football is self-supporting and globally competitive. Reasons why CAF will continue to invest in schools football, youth academies for the boys and girls, and football infrastructure and facilities. Dr. Patrice Motsepe also said they will continue to use football as a tool to unite people from different races, ethnic groups, and religious backgrounds and contribute to improving the socio-economic and living conditions of all parties. CAF President also mentioned that the Lagadier dispute has been resolved amicably and to the satisfaction of both parties. The content of this settlement agreement, Dr. Patrice Motsepe says, are confidential. The review of the year by CAF's President Dr. Patrice Motsepe ended with him inviting all to the African Nations Championship CHAN that will be hosted by Algeria from January 13 to February 4, 2023. Dr. Patrice Motsepe says it will be the best CHAN ever organized.
And now just to inform you that the Indomitable Lions of Cameroon have gained 10 places in the latest FIFA World Cup, which just ended in Qatar. The ranking was published this Thursday in the morning by FIFA, and Cameroon is now the 4th in Africa and 33rd in the world. And as a result of their performance at the last FIFA World Cup, Morocco is the new number 1 in Africa on the FIFA World Ranking. Morocco gained 11 places and are now 11 in the world. Notwithstanding winning the FIFA World Cup trophy, Argentina are the second best country in the world behind rivals Brazil, who still retain their world number 1 position. Here now is the top 5 African nations in the latest FIFA ranking. Morocco is first, followed by Senegal, Tunisia, Cameroon is 4th, and Nigeria. That does it for this edition of the news. Thank you, viewers, for always being there. But before we go, just to inform you also that a much talked about UCB concert, which is taking place, is supposed to take place at the Bepanda Municipal Stadium, will begin soonest, and prominent artists in Cameroon such as Mimi, Lady Pongs, other artists, above all, Kiss Daniel from Nigeria would be thrilling you people in that concert, which will be beginning soonest, so you don't want to miss that. Thank you so much for being with us. Stay with us on Equinoxe Television.